Oh yeah, if you could help me, I'm trying.
Wonder Woman over here.
Yeah, some of these things are bugging out on me, and it's
But maybe next year I might switch. Just they've become so expensive.
yeah. Well, because the one thing that turned me off to using Premiere Pro was I had probably one of my first paid video shoots. I had a band hire me to come out and record their performance because they wanted to have some video of it while they were doing their thing. And so I had multiple cameras set up. I had one on a tripod on the back to get the full frame. I had a guy in the audience walking around so we can get some shots of like movement shots. And then I also was zooming in on other things, like individual band members when they were playing their solos or whatever have you. So we had 3 cameras going, and I needed to sync up all of those images through the audio because I didn't have, even though you can sync timestamps, I found that it's very difficult to do that for me, using when you have a Nikon and a GoPro and all these different brands on the floor. So I tried it with Premiere Pro. I tried the 30-day free trial and figured, okay, well, maybe this will work. And it didn't. It didn't work for me. And so I then downloaded the 30-day trial of Final Cut Pro, and seamlessly, like nothing. It handled it. And because I was already an iMovie editor doing all of my basic home movies on iMovie, I was already familiar with the whole flow. The learning curve wasn't as steep as it is for me with Premiere Pro. There are certain things I think are more powerful with Premiere Pro, like their color grading abilities right out of the box. Whereas I've found with Final Cut Pro, I've either had to download add-ons to give me the abilities that Premiere already has, as well as I need certain things if I want to do moving text or stuff like that. I need Apple's Motion program for VFX, whereas I think Premiere Pro can do some minor VFX already out of the box. But the other major non-selling point for me with Premiere Pro was the fact that it's a monthly subscription.
Yeah.
In Final Cut, I just have it. And yeah, they may come out with updates and there'll be subtle things, but I don't care for those, at least at this time. So I don't know if that was your decision or what your decision for going with Premiere Pro. That was kind of a long-winded, like, why I was like thinking about it, like, we're going to beat this game and I'm still going at it. Oh, let me get that Apple.
Well, I've never had experience with Mac. So, like you said, it was like the first thing. It was just
go get that Apple.
Intuitive. It was just because I came from Sony Vegas.
Yeah.
Like not a legit copy. Cough.
Well, that's the other thing with PC is you can't get like a video editing software right out of the box. I had a buddy I helped get his podcast started, and he wants to start incorporating video. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you have a PC. You have to download a video editing software. Apple kind of just gives you one. Oh. They give you a video editing software. They give you music editing software like GarageBand. And all of these things are like pretty bare bones, but it's enough for Instagram. It's enough for YouTube. It's enough to get you started.
Enough to get you started. Yeah. And I hear that a lot too. Whoa. That's sexual harassment.
Hashtag me too.
Okay, I wasn't aware. Like, is this PG-13 or is this R? Because I can't. People close to me know that I can say dumb stuff, really offensive dumb stuff sometimes.
Yeah, we have to be careful in today's day and age.
Oh yeah.
I think that we always should have been careful, but definitely more so. I work with some old timers who are from a time long lost. I think that they've not grown with the change in climate, and some of the things that they say, I think to myself, wow, like you're just a lawsuit waiting to happen. Like I don't want to be on the stand saying, yes, he did say this. So I try to tell him, like, cool it, man. Like, for real. Okay. But yeah. So you work full time and you also do this on the side.
Yes.
How now, because I have to find a way to weave this into the Dad's Podcast project, which is the one we're going to post this on. I have a second one that's sort of like just random, talk about anything, but I kind of find that it increases the workload when you have two separate things. Like, I don't know if you've ever had two Instagrams, but it's difficult.
No, I thought about it, like one personal one and then one something about like this photography business thing.
It can be difficult. And so having like two podcasts to write a blog for and make a post for or make an episode for can be difficult. So to kind of weave this into, again, the Dad's Podcast project, working full time, having a job on the side, it's very difficult to find the time to as a father. But I'm curious how that is for you, finding the time to manage both. Does your 8-hour day ever spill into after work kind of, or do you find that it's kind of easy to do the part-time creative gig?
Before, when my current job was very, very busy,
yeah,
it was very difficult. I couldn't find the time. Even when I scheduled something, there was always these what was that, a Shoryuken? What was that?
Yeah, it was. And I totally was just punching the air.
Shadowboxing. It was very difficult. I couldn't do what I wanted to do. Just be out there and be creative. And when it does die down, it's usually after daylight savings time. So it's like I get out of work in the dark. I get to work in the dark kind of thing. And I'm like, oh, man, this sucks. Damn, I keep dying.
Yeah, you are. I think you were gonna get continues as well. So even if you die, it's fine. You'll be fine. Like we have certain health points, so like you have 2 more times, and then you'll be able to pick another character if you want to be somebody else.
But yeah, and then now that we've kind of stabilized, I'm able to schedule things during the weekends mostly.
Yeah. I find that's when most people do for when they're a part-time photographer, part-time videographer. It's primarily the weekends. I've tried to meet up with people, say, after work during the week, but it seems like the window of availability for people is very slim. And then when, like you said, daylight savings times when it's so dark outside, that's the worst, because it's like I can meet you right after 3:30 or something like that.
Yeah.
How about 5? And it's like, how about it's dark?
Exactly.
Which leads me to an interesting question for you. I'll share mine. I don't think I've shared it on the podcast before, but kind of not awkward moments, but I'll let you decide what kind of story you want to share after I share mine. Okay. So I booked not a wedding. I booked a family photo shoot, and it was like a couple months out. They had called me and they're like, "Yeah, we want to hire you." And I'm like, "Okay, well, let's go ahead. We'll meet up at this park." I was living in Southern California at the time, and let's go ahead and meet there. I want to say 6:30. I was like, the sunset will be perfect. It'll be golden hour. Like, I'm really selling them on this. They're like, great. I get home after a long day of work, and I figure I've got enough time to crash out, take a quick little nap. And then I wake up, and daylight savings had happened.
Oh, no.
it was man. It was 5, and the sun was already setting. And I was like, holy smokes. And it was bad too, because they had to take a little bit of a drive to get to me. So when we met up, I packed my flash. I was like, let me see if I can make something work here. We were straight up photographing in the dark.
Oh, man.
And I had told them that, you know, it was my mistake. I didn't even anticipate. Like, I mean, you can know, but I was just, what would the term be? Like, I was negligent to verifying the time change, which when you're a photographer or videographer, you should know that stuff. And because of that, I offered them a free shoot to make up for it on like wherever they wanted to, whatever. Let's just make this right. So have you ever had one of those like, oh, I messed up kind of moments? Because it usually happens like early on. Early on, it's like those are the growing pains.
Not for photography, for any scheduled shoots I have. I do remember this one time. I think this is the scariest shit every videography person.
Yeah.
Is when you think you press the record button.
Oh.
And you didn't. And it happened to me twice. But it wasn't at the time where it's like really crucial moment. It was just mostly B-roll. It wasn't what the bride and groom kind of
like during the ceremony.
Yeah, during the ceremony. It wasn't. Good thing I captured. I realized that before the ceremony. I was like, oh man,
yeah,
that would have been. I would have been talking to my. I would have been talking to MC. I'm like, hey, did you get that? Like, just. Make sure that he has like a second angle or something. Like, did you get that? Because I thought I did. I pressed the button. Yeah, it was the camera's fault.
That was the camera's fault. Dude, that is the worst. Like, sometimes I'll double tap the record button, and I'm not even doing like videography. This is just for like home movies or something, like, or I'm recording my kids, and it's like, oh, I completely didn't capture that moment. And you can't tell them like, hey, can you be candid and, you know, natural again? So in a wedding setting, oh, that has to be like,
yeah.
There was a time, what was it? I want to try to say that yes, there was in fact a time for me where there was like difficulties with hardware. Oh yeah, I went to a wedding. This wasn't really a hardware difficulty, but this was my first wedding, and I think I've shared this story before, so I'll try not to bore people with it too much. But I forgot a lens, and I didn't have many lenses either. I had 3 at the time,
Big boy,
and I forgot one of my pretty much bread and butter lenses. And I was just far enough away from the wedding that if I left to go get it and came back, I would be late.
Oh, man. So did you just, like, stick with the lenses you have?
I did. And I don't know if that's something that you've learned coming up doing videography, that you don't need to pack all the gear that you have. I think for a wedding, yes. Take everything that you have. Take all of the gear. Take all of the memory cards. All of the lenses you have, because you never know. Everything is situational. We have a workflow, but sometimes the venue lends itself to augmenting that workflow, because it's like, oh, the lighting's different, or oh, this I could use an ultra wide. I seldom use it, but this venue would look epic with an ultra wide shot. So having everything with you. But when I'm doing like family shoots now, I only take one lens and just my camera. I don't even take a second camera body or anything like that, because it's like, why? I'm lugging this stuff around, and it just the weight factor. So I don't know if is that the same for you. Ooh. When you're doing.
I died.
Oh yeah, put your initials in for your score. BBB.
BBB.
This isn't even like an arcade cabinet. It's just hit start, and now you can select a different player if you want.
I'll be.
Max is a swole one, and Skate. Well,
minorities. Yeah, let's go.
There you go. Hashtag
woke. Yeah. When I first started, I took every lens I had, and I had it slung like one of those messenger bags.
Oh yeah.
And I carried that bag throughout the whole wedding on me. ceremony, reception. Even when I was drinking, or not drinking.
When you're
I
out
don't
at the
drink.
bar?
I don't drink. No. Eating for lunch. I just took it with me, and then as a lot, going through a lot more gigs, I'm like, I don't really actually need a lot. Just a very versatile lens, like one zoom lens, and I'm good. And I can count on my other the first shooter to do the wider shots and stuff.
Yeah, and you can divvy up the workload when there's two at a wedding. For myself, another thing that helped me as a deciding factor, because if you're not taking many photos, you're probably not using Lightroom. But I think you have it, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So by default, I think if you're out there interested in getting Premiere, chances are you're going to get like Photoshop and Lightroom bundled with that. You're able to see the metadata of what camera was used, what lens was used, and what ISO and f-stop. And I was looking back at it, and it's like, I don't know what the heck this guy's doing, but
he just dropped in to get kicked out.
Now we're fighting on the beach. So
California.
We've been all over in this game, to be honest with you, but I digress. So I look back, and it's like when I used to shoot with two camera bodies, I would have maybe less than 10% of the photos taken would be on the second camera body.
Oh wow.
All of the photos would be taken with the main camera body. And that's what the important thing too is, like having the same camera, like they can be different when it comes to editing. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if you experience this when it comes to video.
Yeah, definitely.
But I even had two of the same manufacturers. So I had my D500 and the D70-100, and the colors and the clarity and maybe just the overall way that the photos are processed, even when shot in RAW, look different. So when you guys are out there, you and your videographer, you guys use you use two different editing softwares, but you use the same cameras, right?
Yes. Usually we have just one person editing. Usually the first shooter.
Okay.
But if say MC he booked up, like last year, an example, in October, we had no weekends available to us. So I told him, like, hey, I can work on a video. Like, I can edit a video if you're booked. Oh, there's that turkey.
Yeah, get you that turkey. Get you that meat, player.
I need the protein. Because look, I'm scrawny as fuck. What the hell was that? So yeah, when times are like that, like, okay, I'll edit. Like, I'll take some offload some of the work to myself to help him out. Because I know MC looks like he's cool and all, but he's stressing a lot too in the editing process.
Dude, weddings are stressful. Sorry. I think it's the truth. Like, if anybody says that they're doing it and they're cool, like, they're probably lying, or they have a team of people helping them, or they're not really putting the effort that's required to produce a good product for somebody.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, totally agree with that. MC's very, very considerate. Like, he has to have, like every creator, it's all about that quality to give out, because that's the reason why people are asking for his services, right?
Yeah.
So I totally understand that, and sometimes I'm like, dude, I don't know if I can live up to your brand.
Yeah.
That was the first people editing. So I'm like, dude, I don't know if I can live up to your brand. Like, I don't know if I could meet the expectations, blah, blah. He's like, no, you got this, man. I trust you. I'm like, all right. I'm like, all right. Oh, man. It was just so overwhelming for the first few weddings, I think, well, for me.
Yeah. And that, I think we all set our standards too. Like, for me, I'm able to...
No idea what
I think you got to jump over me or something. There you go. For me, like, I would have a certain standard of photo quality that I wanted. But I found that with my style of shooting, I was able to streamline that process by implementing things like I say filters, but what I mean by that is I've already found the settings that I usually consistently do all the time or use all the time. And I've saved that as, I guess, a filter. It's my own color grading, my own contrast, my own, like the levels with which I always use. And then the things that I have to change after the fact are usually just exposure. So that streamlines the editing process and yields a quality photo that I feel confident in giving to somebody. Where I put the stress on myself is the turnover. As a machinist by day trade, efficiency and churning over high volumes of product, which I look at the photo as the product. And if I have 1,000 photos, how can I cut down that turnover time and get it to them as quickly as possible without diminishing that quality that I set on myself? And Lightroom has allotted me a lot of, it's a way to batch edit photos very easily. So my turnover rate, I aim for a week to have wedding photos back to people, all of them. Like I've heard stories about people waiting like 6 months. Sometimes people wait a year. And
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like I can understand if maybe you're a full-time photographer and you have all these other weddings, or maybe you're also a full-time parent and you just don't have that kind of time to sit down and edit. But for me, at least, doing on a part-time basis, a 1 week turnover is not unrealistic, because as well as having like a sneak peek day of a wedding, you should have maybe more than one. But I don't know if what are you doing when it comes in regards to video? Because I guess that's what I was curious about too, is when it comes to video editing, like what are you churning over? Like how does that flow? Is it like a DVD with chapters and all this stuff? I mean, how's that work?
Usually, from I guess a general standpoint is we do highlights, like the highlights of the video. We just
so like
record.
Yeah. So like, for example, if like, okay, let's say it's a 10-hour day. How long is that video usually? Like a 30-minute, an hour?
Oh no. If they requested that, I think we'd probably decline.
To do a 10-hour day?
No, 30-minute video.
Oh.
Like anything longer than maybe, say, I've seen 10-minute videos.
Okay.
10-minute videos is probably the median. Some have lower. I try to go small, like shorter than that, because content-wise, it's kind of, I don't. What the fear is having this formula, that this cookie cutter, always the same kind of thing going. That's the fear in video, because it's the same thing over and over again, like trying to tell a story.
Yeah.
Well, not to offend anybody or the weddings or anyway.
Yeah. No, I don't. I think if people aren't doing that and then just slapping clips together.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody, sorry, but anybody can do that. Telling a story to like a soundtrack. And I guess that would be that'd be an interesting question. I don't know if you want to answer it honestly or not, but are we using copywritten music?
Okay.
In the videos?
Okay. I will answer this.
Okay.
I will answer this. I personally don't in weddings and wedding films or wedding videos.
Yeah.
I personally don't do it because, that whole copyright legality kind of thing. Yeah. I just don't want to get hit with it. Oh, my bad.
Wow.
Like that. I didn't want to get hit from the back.
Hey, get that one up.
I'm trying to.
These conveyors are a real pain. Just saying that.
Yeah. I know some people that do, and that's kind of fit their style. Like,
I think if you're maybe not in the big leagues, like maybe your videos aren't being displayed on Vogue or whatever, Wedding Wire, or you're not pulling in those $15,000 wedding jobs, maybe. Then it's like, okay, you can, you're doing the quinceañera for your friend, or you're doing the wedding, a little on the lower end of the price or local scale, we'll say, it makes sense to maybe be okay with using that. Have you ever had people request a copywritten song? Say, I want this song in my video.
Surprisingly, they trust me. Like, I'm like,
just like
we
do your thing.
Do your thing. Which kind of scares me sometimes because, no, I haven't got a request. I know for sure that. What was that? It was like a one hit.
Yeah. They did that again to us.
Yeah, some people would request songs like, and I get that. Like, it's very popular, so I have no judgment or anything.
Yeah,
it's just it is what it is. Sorry, bro. I'm working for them.
Where are you getting your music from? Are you using like one of those third-party sites?
I'm using artlist.io. I used I used Artlist.io. I've been using them for a year just to see what it offers, and they do. It's not sponsored. They do a pretty. They have pretty good soundtracks. It's very. Sometimes they all sound the same too. So they have a huge library. It's just, I don't know. It gets difficult to pick one.
And when you're editing, do you find that, because that's one of the hardest things for me when I would be editing, like say a short little 1 minute video for the gram, just even if it was like a workout video or something like that. Sometimes I have to have the song first.
Yes, that's totally me. I need the song first before I can put clips together to tell that story that goes along with this song. I need to have that sound first. And I go through a lot of songs like, nah. I have to listen to the whole song too, because you're not sure, like when the bass drops or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it totally took a different change. I'm like, oh, crap. Like the beginning was perfect. Slow. Yeah. Tells you the story. And then it gets to like the mid part of the song and it gets all hyped up. I'm like, no, I kind of did not like this. I'm like, damn, all that time wasting, like searching.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely need a soundtrack. Get songs that get you in the feels.
Yeah. Have you ever reused the same song over and over for different clients' videos?
No, I try to avoid that. And then sometimes I'll be like, oh man, this one would have done better in this video. But I try to avoid that. I know for sure I'd like to use same songs for my travel films because it's just they just sound good. Like I can't find anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the Instagram sort of? It seems like Instagram and YouTube with the way that the transitions are in their jump cuts. We're fighting robots now. This game is seriously all over the place. Like I don't remember it being like this.
This ain't even the streets no more.
I know, we're fighting straight technology. Like this is like Terminator status here.
Oh snap!
Particle and molecule are the names.
Is that the names?
Yeah.
Clever. Oh,
I see what you did there.
Just punched me from his chest. Oh no, never mind. It's his other arm. Okay, it's that 8-bit 8-bit. Oh no,
you died again.
It's A. All right, try somebody else. Oh, wrong person. Let's see. I don't think I ever finished the Japan thing.
Your Japan story?
Yeah.
I know. Again, if the podcast sounds like it's a little all over the place, I think it's because we are playing Streets of Rage 2, classic Sega Genesis game. And though I think it's broken the ice somewhat, because you definitely don't know that you've been on camera this entire time. You probably not paid attention to that. Yeah. You probably not paid attention to that aspect of this, or the fact that we're already 55 minutes in.
Oh,
However,
wow.
a good first 10 or 15 minutes of that was set up still. Like, I think it was recording, but like, we're live on Twitch. YouTube didn't work.
Oh, no way.
And unfortunately, yeah.
I got to tell everybody. He's like, what? It's not even working.
Yeah, I'll pause it.
Did you guys start? It's no sound. Oh.
Yeah, tell people it's on Twitch. They can search for, I believe it's Chango Blanco. Chango.
Jingo. And people know me as like a person that does not get in front of the camera.
Really?
Yeah, I
Oh, man.
don't often go in front of.
So I'll just put the webcam on you specifically.
No, don't. You see all the sweat. Like, are we done? Are we done?
I know.
We
I
just
should probably shout this too. Like, we'll just pause and we'll just shout on our social medias
yeah.
and see.
Break time. It's funny because I wanted to do more of this social media kind of thing, so I'm doing this 90-day social media presence.
Yeah. Is it like post every day kind of thing, or
Post stuff, something in the stories, and post some more of my work. And like I've been telling you, it's really exhausting as an introverted person.
Yeah,
it's really exhausting. But you gotta do it to put yourself out there, I guess.
I did that with I'm pretty sure you noticed it, or some people did at least, with the whole fitness video. I was doing like a fitness video or story, Instagram stories every single day. And I streamlined the process. So I was recording a video, like a short video clip while I would work out. And then during my cardio session at the end, I would upload those like 3 or 4 quick little stories. And then sometimes I would take those stories and make a post. And by 9 o'clock on my break, I would then post that. And I want to say I did it for a couple months straight. And it got very easy streamlining things to where I could do it no problem, but it lacked creative motivation for me after that. It was like, now I'm just doing this just to do this, and I don't feel the creative sort of mojo. I'm just going to take a wide shot. We're out there. Twitch.
I swear.
I wish that I could have got the YouTube thing working, because I feel like I'm posting these videos to YouTube anyways. And yeah, so we'll get back at it. We're out on social media now. We probably should have did that first. Okay. All right. 60 days social media.
Oh, it was like 90 days.
90 days social media. So what are you doing to do that? Is it via Instagram, or what social medias are we talking about here?
Mostly Instagram, and just sharing that to Facebook. It's mostly that. It's kind of easier to be like, yeah, here's my Instagram.
Yeah.
Instead of like, here's my Facebook. I don't want you guys using my real name or knowing my real name.
Do you have a Facebook page? Not like a business page, I guess.
No, I don't.
Because I know that you can create those and then tether it. Dude, this guy totally rocked me right now.
Right.
I know that you can make that and tether it to your Instagram. So whenever you post to Instagram, it just goes there automatically.
This guy.
I know. This is nuts, man. Like, these bosses are definitely getting harder, and I feel like we just might make it to the end of this game, like, by the skin of our teeth. Like, it's getting to that level of difficulty now.
Oh, snap. I tried doing that. Wait, did I die? No. I don't know. Like, I don't really go on Facebook as much to do. I mean, if I have a friend out there or friends out there, I'll look into what they're doing. But as for business wise or anything like that, not really. I think Instagram is a lot minimalistic or easier?
It is. I seldom go on Facebook now, only because to me it's just a lot of reposting of things. There's not a lot of original content.
Oh.
However, there was someone who posted a link, and I follow them now, to what was it, like Instagram? So they'll put together like a collage of photos of every single person that's held out their coffee cup with the lake in front of them.
Oh, I think I subbed to that too. Yeah, I subbed to that too. And then
it just makes you realize how unoriginal your ideas are, and it's kind of sad because I think to myself, oh, here I am being original with my coffee cup out at the lake.
Oh man.
Or how many like redheads with glasses reading a book. I mean, there's so many.
Or some girls just
going
like that with their hair against the sunlight.
Yeah.
Through the window mirrors. I'm taking those ideas, by the
way. Getting back onto the weddings though, like I kind of just had this random thought. Have you had, and you don't even have to answer it if you don't want to, just because, your followers might hear this. And you don't even have to be specific with names, places, or dates. But have you had just a complete either bridezilla moment or like a wedding kind of disaster, in a sense where like just all the things that could go wrong did go wrong, and it might not even be on your end. It might just be like watching the wedding kind of just crumble because of the mother-in-law or some drama?
I'm really fortunate enough that never happened to any of the weddings I've attended.
Yeah, knock on wood.
I guess there was this one time at the end of the reception, it was the dance part of the wedding. And I basically go handheld and go into the crowd and dance with the crowd, go into the circle, turn, do 360, and then
makes you feel like you're in there.
Yeah, and capture them dancing and stuff. That's like the go-to for me at the end of the day. Like, okay, let's have some fun, get some candid dancing. My bad. That was like a pose drop, dude. Like,
I don't know why. Who jumps and drop kicks with their knees?
Oh, my bad.
Like, that's the oddest way to kick somebody. And I guess I would have to see, like, did the game developer, do they know how fighting works at this time when this game was made?
I mean, I can see like a kickboxer do something else, like going up and dropping. That's
such an odd way to kick somebody.
But yeah, going back to that dance, I had this after I finished recording dance, this one odd lady, I guess she had too many. This lady came up to me, is like, you photographers and videographers should be in the background and record from there, because not everybody is going to be comfortable enough to go up their have the camera up their face and get recorded. And then she makes a good point like that, but like, you've seen these videographers, photographers throughout the whole wedding. Yeah, you're going to get captured either way, whether it be like me recording you picking your nose, or
someone with their phone,
someone like, I don't know, like just awkward stuff. And then if it's bad, we'll remove it. Like, it's not permanently gonna be in the highlight video. Yeah. So she gave me that little wisdom, and I'm like, back in my mind, it would be like, are you paying for this video? Exactly. But I just smiled and waved. I didn't want to cause any drama or anything. Like, oh yeah, I'll take that into consideration. Or thank you so much. Would you like fries with that? Kind of thing.
Dude, this guy's totally wrecking us, by the way.
I know. I bet that guy in the back.
I think we're here. This is the end. This is the last boss. Oh, well, second to the last boss. It's been quite the journey. But
But yeah.
Yeah, that's odd, man, to have someone come up
was-
to you like that. And it's so interesting how that comes up with just the random guests, not even the bride.
No, not.
Because the bride, it's usually they're paying you. They want you to capture everything. Even
and we
drunk aunties and uncles, they want all of that stuff because they want to remember the day. Now, yeah, it doesn't have to make it into your highlight reel. But
That's all you, bro.
Are you for real? Oh
all
my
you.
God.
But
Okay, well now you get to focus on your on your stories.
yeah.
Have you because I guess I've had moments where like the wedding's sort of gone sideways, and it's usually like just you're kind of in the room like a fly on the wall. Like you're not carrying on in the conversations. You're merely just capturing the event as it happens. And some of the conversations that happen, it's like, should I be hearing this? Or you feel the tension between like, say, maybe the bride and the mother, or between even the bride and the groom, because, you know, that one friend is just having a little too many, and it's just bringing that drama to a day that they wanted to be special.
I'm sorry to bore your followers, but I never had any of those actually.
You never had those moments?
No, I guess I just never had enough attended or serviced weddings.
Yeah. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's definitely. So then have you had, I know as a photographer, wow, that's it?
He had a gun, dude. That's not fair.
How's he going to have a gun? Man.
B.
I know.
Oh, wait, where is it? Easy.
I mean, we made it to the end. That's definitely more than I had thought we would have. And we'll just leave the trailer to play. But
Sweet.
have you ever had one of those, like, what do I want to say it was? Like as a photographer, every wedding I've been on, and I've told people this who either come to second shoot with me or who want to get into wedding photography themselves, I tell them there's always going to be another person there with a DSLR. And though I think it should be known, like at a good conscience, that you should probably leave that at home, because you'll confuse guests as to whom the paid photographer is. There's always one. Has there been that type of person there for you when it comes to See, now I feel like I'm hitting a nerve here. Have you had one?
I haven't had one, but I was kind of like that person.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was kind of like that one person for a friend's wedding. I was like, I'm gonna see if I can. Sorry, this is why I don't show my face, so
No, that's
people
cool.
recognize me. I'm just kidding.
We're gonna change channels since we're not playing anymore. We're just gonna do talk shows and podcasts on the live stream. If you guys are following us, Chango Blanco, on twitch.tv, and we'll just go ahead. I thought that game would have took us to the end. Kind of didn't.
Well, I guess we got to the end. We just got beat up by.
I know. Only guy in the game with a gun at the end. But yeah. So then what do you got going on now? I mean, you said that you're a little bit lighter this year by choice with the weddings.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the next creative endeavor or the next iteration that's going to fill the extra free time?
Portraits. I've been doing a lot of portraits. I've been asking a lot of acquaintances, I should say.
Yeah.
I know a few friends to do portraits. I want to get into that kind of photography, portraits with flash and stuff.
Yeah.
That's my aim for now. I would love to do more travel video, go back to my roots. I would love to do more urban street photography. Those were like my go-to.
That was your entry into the entire thing.
Yeah. Travel and street photography. Those are my entry to this world of being a creator. I can't really say I'm a creator. I'm like, It's cringy for me to label myself as like a creator like you with all that stuff and all these filmmakers and all these very top tier photographers that I've met through all these weddings.
Yeah.
I don't believe I'm at their level. That's the constant. That's me just like, I need to get better. Like,
Even then though, I think like we're all just kind of figuring it out.
Mhm.
Like even with this, like I'm trying to figure out how to stream on YouTube, but I couldn't. So I'm not even sure how the video aspect of this is going to come out. I can guarantee that the audio and the podcast is going to be great. But with regards to the video, it's like it might be chopped up because this whole thing records like from the beginning, and then when it had a problem with the stream, it cut out and then it picked up again. So I might have like empty spaces in my video. And I think that when we compare ourselves, because I do it too, like to our peers, we always think like, well, if I had that camera or if I had this type of setup or if I had this location to work with, it'd come out so much better. It's definitely one of those things that we're all creators in a sense, but as creators, we are our own worst critics.
yeah.
And so I don't think we'll ever attain that level unless we're just like a diva. Like mine is the greatest, you know, walking out there like Kanye, you know. My wedding videos are the best.
Yeah. I totally agree. Like I was told this one statement from a few years back in my current job, my manager back in the day.
Yeah.
He told me like, if you're not learning anything, then you're wasting your time. And that hit home. I was like, you're right. I should probably quit this job because I'm not learning anything. Oh crap! To my current boss right now, I'm learning a lot. Yeah, I try to live by that and just keep learning as I go. And yeah,
Right on, man. I think that's pretty good. We could probably just end on that.
yay!
Yeah.
I'm off camera.
And then we're gonna end the stream and we're probably just gonna talk shop and trade ideas and see what's going on. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to listen to this podcast. If you made it to the end, be sure to leave a like, a thumb, 5-star, leave a rating, a follow, share. I mean, whatever it is that you guys do out there, just do that. And again, thanks to the homie, Mr. Slanted Glasses. You guys can follow him on his Instagram. It is at Slanted Glasses or at slanted.glasses.
Yeah,
is his Instagram handle. Slip in the DMs. He likes random images to be sent to him.
When I say random, when he says random, like random shit, and I'll be like, oh, let me incorporate that in the next shoot.
And because he's also picking up doing a lot more photography work. If you're a model and you're interested in collaborating, this is definitely the man to do it with. His work is pretty amazing. And
it's getting there. It's not there yet, but it's getting there.
Give him a shout out. All right, you guys. Till next time. See
Thank
ya.
you.
Yeah.